everyone, today I'm going to be working on the 12 pointed star blanket. As you can see here, this one is super bright and super pink. I made it for my daughter's newborn baby, and I was able to use various different shades of pink. It's a great one to use up all of your leftover yarn if you like to. For the purpose of the tutorial, I'm using some much more muted colors, which is way more me, and it's going to be easier for you to see. So you can do this blanket in one color, or in multiple different colors, like the pink one that you see that I have made. I'm going to do two colors today. I think this is going to be super pretty. And so you need some good yarn. You will also need a crochet hook, of course. I'm using a 3.5mm today. And you're going to be using a scissor, and I'm also going to be using a stitch marker. So we're going to start out with a magic circle. The way I do my magic circle is I put the yarn around my finger clockwise, and then I put the yarn counterclockwise between my other two fingers, and it forms like an X. And then I will go from underneath, from the inside of the magic circle, and I grab the yarn, I pull through, and I chain one. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. So for the first round, we're going to do a total of 12 double crochet, and this chain 3 will count as the first double crochet. So we're going to do 11 more double crochets. So double crochet, you yarn over, pull the yarn, you're going to have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that is going to be the chain is 1, double crochet is 1. So I am going to take my stitch marker and mark the chain 3 that we made, because that is our first double crochet in a sense, and we need to slip stitch into this at the end, and it gets very tight. So I always like to put my stitch marker there. And so now we need 10 more double crochets. You can skip to round number 2 in the time stance or follow along. Okay, I think I have enough. Just count how many you have, just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this one is the 12th. Now I am going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain. The 3rd chain that we originally did, which counted as our first double crochet. So as you can see, even though I had the stitch marker there, it can be a little bit hard to get in there. So this was round number 1. Go ahead and pull your yarn and tighten up your magic circle. So for round 2, as with all rounds, we're going to start with chain 3, and this chain 3 will count as our first double crochet. I'm going to go ahead and mark chain 3, we're going to slip stitch into that. So this one is going to be an increase. We're going to do 2 double crochets into each of the stitches. So this one counts as our first double crochet, and what you want to do is you want to do another double crochet into the same stitch that we just did the slip stitch in. So yarn over, double crochet into the same stitch, and that's our increase. And we're going to do that in every single chain. We had 12 stitches after round 1. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets into each of the stitches, and at the end of round 2 we're going to end up with 24 stitches. So let me show you one more time. This is our next stitch right here. I'm going to do 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet. Here's our third stitch, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet. Continue all the way around, and I will meet you back over here. So I completed my round number 2 with 24 double crochets, and I went ahead and I slip stitch into my mark stitch. So for round number 3, just like with any rounds, we're going to start out with chain 3, and round number 3 we're going to do a repeat of a V-shape pattern. So we are going to, so ignore this chain 3 for now. We're going to skip this stitch and we're going to double crochet into the next. So skip the next stitch and we're going to double crochet into the following stitch, and then you're going to do a chain 2, and then you're going to do a double crochet into the same stitch. So you just put 2 double crochets into the same stitch and it creates that V form. So we're going to repeat that all around. So we're going to skip the next stitch, which is this one, and we're going to do 2 double crochets into the following. Skip, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the same stitch. Skip, double crochet into the next one, chain 2, double crochet into the same stitch. So you see the V shape. Here's V, V, and V. Do that all the way around, and I'll meet you right before this last chain. So I'm at the end of round 3, and here you can see I just did a V shape, and here's our chain 3 from the beginning. So this chain 3 here is basically one side of your V shape, so we need to give it the other side of the V shape. So this is the stitch that we would skip, and then you would do a double crochet into this stitch right here. Let's go ahead and remove our stitch marker. We're going to do chain 2, and then we're gonna slip stitch into the 3rd chain, and that will complete round number 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and start round number 4. So to get started, we want to be actually in the chain 2 space that we made. So I'm going to slip stitch over here. So you just insert your hook in the chain 2 space, pull up a yarn and slip stitch, and then you're in the chain 2 space. So with every round, we're going to start out with chain 3, and as always, the chain 3 will count as our first double crochet. So we're going to do another double crochet. So we have 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then we're going to do another 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. That's 1 and 2. So we basically did 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, and we're going to do that all around. So let's do one more together. So here's my next V shape or chain 2 space. So 1 double, 2 double, chain 2, and then another 2 double. 1, 2. And you're going to do that all around, and I will meet you over here after you've done your 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. Okay, I just finished round number 4, and here you can see 2 double, chain 2, 2 double, and I'm going to slip stitch into that chain 3 to end the round. So I'm going to change color now. So go ahead and cut your yarn, and then chain 1 and pull out the yarn. So we are at round 5 now, and I'm going to change color. And just like in the last round, we want to start here where the chain 2 is, where the V is formed. So if you use the same color, you just slip stitch over and do your chain 3 to get started. But since we're changing colors, I'm going to do a standing double crochet instead of a chain 3. So I'm going to take the new color, I'm going to do a slip knot. Okay, I'm going to hold it tight. Then I'm going to do yarn over onto my needle, yarn over, and then I'm going to double crochet into the V space. So pull up a yarn, and then I take my left hand and I'll hold it tight like this, the 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So instead of the chain 3 that you normally do, I just did a standing double crochet, and I'm going to do another double crochet. So I got 2 double crochets into my chain 2 space now. I'm going to do a chain 2, and we're going to do another 2 double crochets into the same chain 2 space. Okay, so this this chain 2 space becomes like the pointy part of your star blanket, okay? And then we're gonna start building the shape going down. So next thing you're gonna do is you're going to double crochet into the next stitch. So you've did your 4 double crochets into the chain 2 space, so this is your next stitch. So go ahead and do your double crochet. Okay, and here is kind of like this upside down V shape, I suppose, and these are two stitches above that upside down. So we're gonna skip these two, so they kind of become the pointy end going down of the star blanket. So we're gonna skip 1, skip 2, and we're gonna double crochet into the following like this. And here we're back at our chain 2 space, so we're gonna do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then another 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space. Okay, so we're here at the upside down V shape or triangle again. So we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch right here. We're going to skip the 2 stitches, 1, 2, double crochet into the next. So you can start seeing how it forms. So the chain 2 is like the tip of your star, and then here where you skip the 2 will become the bottom of the star shape. So let's do it one more time together. We're here at the V shape, so we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and another 2 double crochets. And then for the bottom or the valley, I'm going to do double crochet into the next stitch. I skip the 2 on the bottom and double crochet into the 3rd, and we're back at our V. So continue to do so all the way around, and I will meet you back over here. So here I am at the end of this round. You can see I did 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So we're gonna double crochet into the next stitch. And then this is our peak, and so we're gonna skip the 2, and then we're gonna double crochet into this last one. Okay, so go ahead and slip stitch into, this was the standing double crochet that I did, so you can easily see the top part. You go ahead and slip stitch into that, and that finished that round. So the next round is basically the same, except, you know, when we went up and down, we did 1 stitch on each side before we did the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. And with every round you're going to be adding 1 stitch going up and 1 stitch going down. So we did 1 double crochet going up to the peak before, so we're going to do 2 this time. So we're going to start out with chain 3, and that will count as our first double crochet, and then this is going to be our next one. And then we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into the peak or the chain 2. So here's 1, 2, chain 2, another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and then we are going back down, so you will go into the next stitch. Sometimes this is easily skipped, so make sure you pull it so you can see that next stitch. So you do 1 double crochet, another double crochet, and here we are going down in the valley, as you can see. So we're going to skip the 2 on the bottom, which is this one and this one, and we're going to double crochet into this one. 1 and 2, and then we're back into our peak. So we do 2 double crochet, followed by chain 2 and another 2 double crochet. So we did our peak, so we're going to do going down the valley. As you can see, we're going to do our 2 doubles, we're going to skip 2 and then another 2 double until we at the tip, and then we're going to repeat the 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. That's 2 double, chain 2 and 2 double. And continue this all the way around, and I will meet you at the end. So I'm at the end of round 6, and here you can see I just did my last peak in the chain 2 space. So I still need to do 2 more stitches going down the valley. So remember that this stitch sometimes is heights, so make sure you pull your yarn or pull your work, and then you can see the stitch. So here's 1 and 2. So here are the 2 stitches on the bottom of the valley that you're gonna skip. If you wanted to use the same colored yarn, you would just go ahead and slip stitch over here, and you don't ever want to start in the valley. So what you would do is you would slip stitch into the next stitch and start with your chain 3. But I'm going to change the yarn because from here on it's going to be a 3-row repeat. So this was 6, so 7, 8, 9 is going to be a repeat, you know, and then 10, 11, 12 would be your repeat. So it's a 3-row repeat, and to make it easier for you to keep track of your 3-row repeats, you could coordinate that with a color change. So I'm going to go ahead and snip this off. And the 3-row repeat is going to be very simple. So round 1 is slightly different, but round 2 and 3 of the repeat is going to be the same that we just did. And remember, every single row, your stitches going up and down, you know, the pointy part is going to increase by 1 with every single row. So I'm going to go do a standing double crochet like I did before. And so that's your first double crochet, and then you're gonna slip stitch into this easy, you know, into the stitch that can be easily seen. So that was double crochet number 1, double crochet number 2, and double crochet number 3. And as I was saying, for the round 1 or row 1 of the 3-round repeat is going to be slightly different only here in the 2 chain space. So before we were doing 2 double crochets, 2 chains, and 2 double crochets, but for round 1 of 3 we're going to do only 1 double crochet, and then we're going to do chain 2, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet. So for round 1 of 3, you do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. And for the second row and the third row of the 3-row repeat, you would do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay, so we're gonna go down the hill. So you're gonna see here 1, 2, and 3. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. And here we are in the bottom on the valley. Remember, you're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to go back up the hill with 3 double crochets in this round 7. 1, 2, and 3. And here you're back at the chain 2 space. So for round 7, we're going to do 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 2, and another double crochet. And then we're going to go 3 double crochets down the hill again. And then we're here on the bottom. So we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and we're going to double crochet our way back up. 3. We're back at our chain 2. So for round 7, we're going to do 1 double crochet in the chain 2, chain 2, and another double crochet. And that is your repeat for round 7, which is your first of the 3-row repeat. So I'll meet you on the other side. I'm at the end of round 7 right now. So here you see that I just worked my chain 2 space. So I just have to finish going down the hill. There was 1, 2, and 3. That's the end of round 7. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into my standing double crochet that I did, and we are on the bottom of the valley, so we don't ever want to start there. So we're going to slip stitch one over, and then we're ready to go. So this is round 8. So I slip stitch my way over to the next stitch. I'm going to start out row number 8 with a chain 3, which will count for 1 double crochet. So I'm going to basically do the same as I did in round 7, with a slight difference when we do the chain 2 space. So that's our first double crochet, our second double crochet, that was our third double crochet, and here we are in the chain 2 space. And for round 8, we're going to do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then you're going to do another 2 double crochets. And that's the difference between round 7 and round 8. It's just the number of double crochets you work into your chain 2 space. So now you're going to go down the hill again, 1, 2, 3. Here on the bottom, you're going to skip the next two stitches again, and you work your way up with another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and here you find yourself in the chain 2 space again. So I just worked my 3 double crochets and going up towards the chain 2 space for round 8, and we're going to do our 2 double crochets followed by chain 2 and another 2 double crochets. And that is your pattern repeat for round 8, which is the second row in the 3-row repeat. So remember, for the first row repeat, you do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. And for the second row out of the 3-row repeat, you do 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets. And for the third round of the 3-round repeat, we'll do the same. But I'll meet you up here and we'll do round number 9 one more time together. I'm at the end of round number 8, which is the second row of the 3-row repeat. Here are the 2 stitches down on the bottom of the valley for me to skip, and I'm gonna go slip stitch into the other side. So remember, slip stitch into the next stitch because you don't want to start working at the bottom of the valley. So row number 9 is the third out of the 3-row repeat, and it actually works up the same way as row number 8. Now remember though, here for row number 9, you're going to have an extra stitch going up the mountain and going down. So we did 3 single crochets going up in row 8, so this time it's going to be 4. So we're going to start out with chain 3, which is going to count as our first double crochet. So that's 1. This is the second double crochet. This is the third. You can see we have an extra stitch here. And here's the 4th double crochet. Now we find ourselves in the chain 2 space at the top. We're going to do 2 double crochets, and then we're going to do chain 2 and another 2 double crochets. So that was our tip, and now we're going to go back down. We're just going to be 4 double crochets. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. And here on the bottom of the hill, you're going to see the 2 stitches right here that you skip, and you will double crochet into the one going back up the hill. And that was your pattern for row number 9. So 4 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and 4 double crochets going down, and then you're going to skip 2, and then you're going to do 4 double crochets back up the hill. Here we go. So now you can start to really see the going up and down of the hill. And so round 7, 8, 9 is your 3-row repeat, with the first one being different only in the chain 2 space. And I usually change the color every 3rd row, and that makes it easy for me to keep track of my 3-row repeat. So if you did find this helpful at all, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. And thanks for tuning in today. I will see you next time.